Hello everybody, Double A Gaming here, and today I'm doing Byzantium 1.37 guide. The main reason I'm doing this is because I saw a lot of different strategies that I felt were basically irrelevant, especially involving like Naples. And I have a surefire way of conquering winning the first war as the Ottomans basically every single time. Today that's what I'm going to be showing you guys. Obviously we enter iron mode. Just enter, give it a good old name right there. I'll wait for it to load. So the main thing we're looking for is we want to be able to not so much as beat the Ottomans, but intimidate them to be able to not attack our main stack as we take control of the strait. Once we have control over Gallipoli, we've basically won then. So the important part is getting like a navy and then a strong enough army right there. I've seen like a strategy involving like going all the way over to Naples. I just don't feel like that's relevant or even optimal, especially in the current patch. So since the Ottomans start with a six military mana leader, it's really important for us to be able to keep up with them, and so we do that with this. One good piece of news is my leader actually started with a strict personality for his leader trait, second leader trait. So we've actually already got a military bonus that we're gonna be using. One thing to keep in mind though is we won't necessarily be doing this by ourselves. We are definitely going to form like almost a little mini coalition of like any allies you can get in the region. Ideally, you get Trebizond, Georgia, Serbia, Albania, Wallachia, Hungary, and you're basically golden. Especially if the Ottomans rival. So they didn't rival them this time. The strategy will still work just fine without it, but I have actually seen the Ottomans rival the Timurids before, and then once they do that, they'll obviously support independence on those nations, and it's basically like a free first war of the Ottomans because they'll have all their troops in Persia, and you just get to walk in for free. We're not getting that, but that's probably a good thing. Shows how to win the strategy without it being too easy. But if you wanted it to be even easier, do the strategy in the video and then reset until they actually did rival them. But I don't even think that's needed. Really important that we grab Emperor Force Draft. That will allow us to actually take draft ships for war. Real quick though. This will pay us dividends later on. I'm actually going to... This hurts a little bit. This is lower crown land than I would prefer. I've obviously seen at times before, like a Ludi at Historia, he will sell all of his crown lands for all of the mana points. But I personally don't like to do that. I'm dipping lower than I normally would, but that's okay. Because we'll get it back to the course of the game. I'm going to be selling these palace cards after. The big thing is I want a temporary alliance with the papal state, and we actually have to do that like immediately before the first month because I've noticed in my experience, the Pope will get like 7 allies, and you basically can't get an alliance with them after. We had 200 relations with them, but they just wouldn't have it. So you can see we're pretty close already. Once we have those mercenaries, how to be able to get them, I'm also going to follow through by insulting one of the rivals, not Venice, because Venice could come back to bite us. Province, perfect. We're going to move our forces over here because we are going to, December 11th, be attacking Epirus. I'm going to craft those ships for war and then follow through by... we do absolutely need to win that first naval battle with the Ottomans. I would also recommend not picking a battle until they actually attack your allies or vassals' navies, because I've had times where my allies will just let my fleet die, whereas you can reinforce them for a guaranteed win. In terms of like the naval situation. I also recommend getting Skanderberg as well. Also, with Skanderberg and a few other allies, you wouldn't even need Hungary. I'm going to try to get Hungary, and I should be able to with the Ottomans, but like it might not even be needed. I'm going to almost ready to unpause. Just want to get rid of this castle. It's you don't have the economy for it. It's not worth it. You keep the one in Constantinople because once you capture Gallipoli, take the strait. These two forts will basically have this locked down for not only the first war of the Ottomans, but the several ones after that. So one fort's good for now, but we're going to mothball that. And now I'm ready to actually, almost ready to unpause. Just rivalry with them for now. And what we're looking for is our mercenaries to pop out. You want to keep this. That's actually why I'm getting an alliance with the Papal State, because we need that bonus. I'll show you even what it is. Right now, doesn't look like much, but once we actually take this first mission, it'll give us reduced mercenary costs. So don't take this yet, right? We need the alliance with the Papal State, so that's needed. So we stand by our decisions. Get rid of that. We wait 6 more days. There we go. See? Now we can sell the Palace Guard until we're ready for them later. Holy sh... So that's really good. They should keep their own leader once we fire them. That's really good RNG, because if they keep that, we'll be able to get Gallipoli, like we, have a 4 siege leader, as well as we'll be bombarding their fort navally. We're gonna take that immediately. It'll be an easy win. Just continue along. December 11th, we're gonna attack. I'm gonna turn down this a little bit. Someone rivaled me. Don't care. They're going to become a subject soon, most likely. We can then take this. We're going to go for, like I said before, Epirus. And then, it looks like we're going to pass on Serbia. They would ally me now. But I personally would rather go for Skanderberg and Wallachia. They would actually rival me now. I'm going to do that now, actually. Ideally, you can get all 3, but it's really difficult. Usually, Serbia just rivals either one or both of them, or has an enemy of one or both of them, and it just becomes impossible. I put a heavy emphasis on Skanderberg, because he will just win you those battles and reinforce you. Like, the Albanians will, like, this is another thing you gotta do is important, allow attach. Once you do that, the Albanians will just attach to your army, and create like a little mercenary death stack here, and most of the time the Ottomans won't even dare. I actually let a few days pass. That was a little risky, but now we're gonna go for Epirus right here. March right into Arda. Yeah, I'm actually going to make my air give my air military command. 1 siege, no shock. I don't think fire is relevant at this point of the game. We needed shock, but that's okay. It's just the first battle. And honestly, once we fight the Ottomans, we'll be using other countries' generals anyways. There's a chance they're gonna support independence, but we will see about that. for right now, we're just going to focus on winning this war right here, and then improving relations. It's important that we do that. You can accept royal marriage, but I plan on attacking them after this first war anyways. We also want to see, for example, if, give you an example, Circassia would be a good ally, except for the fact that they won't attack the Ottomans, so don't even think about it. I've also seen, like, Georgia become friendly to them before, which is a pain. Right now they're neutral, so I'm going to go for an alliance with them. Typically, Trebizond will go for an alliance, and I love these Eastern alliances because that means you want to attack the Ottomans when they're distracted, but you typically, once they see the threat, they'll try to end their war. But if you have a Eastern alliance with Trebizond and Georgia, they'll waste all their time over in those mountains, and by the time they finish that up, you've won the war by taking over the Balkans. So using them as kind of a meat shield is part of the strategy here. Alright, let's take this little island. Nope. Nice try, buddy. Or my vassal lost a ship there, I believe. That's fine, as long as we're not losing ours. We're also going to be vassalizing them for their navy, just in case. They're usually a bit disobedient. It's going to be a pain, but it'll be fine. We don't even need to send a royal marriage to them. Sometimes I lock into, like lock in a future alliance by royal marriage, but they'll ally us as soon as the war is done with, so we don't even need to worry about that. I'm also going to send these mercenaries over here. No, I'm actually going to send these troops over here. Keep the air on siege. We also want to be careful using him because we'll lose his stability if he dies in combat. And I'd just rather prevent that if we can. He's thinking about it. Like, really, he's thinking about it. Be like, insult. Let's look. I'm nervous about insulting Ottomans yet because I don't want them to attack me yet. Right? We're not quite ready for that. If I insult them, no one's gonna care. Yeah, they're like I said, close to it. Let's wait one more second. Oh, we just lost a galley there. That's not great, to be honest. It should be fine though. But it'll be important. We're gonna actually hide our navy in Constantinople and wait for them to attack like Athens' navy. Because at this point, this is the Ottomans' entire navy. That plus 4, 23. So we're still fine. Just we gotta be careful because it might even become harder to barrage their fort here. I might actually quickly try to reduce Epirus's Liberty Desire once I get to that point, just so I can make a few more ships for them real quick. We honestly could have already gotten like a royal marriage with them, but we're at war anyways, so it's fine. Just right now, we're just waiting for this siege to tick. Mamluks is expanding into here, not into the desert. Ottomans make me a little nervous. I want to end this war and make my alliances, like now. Alright, we're going to take their money, make them a vassal, and I would recommend forcing religion as well, make them much more obedient down the line. Like I said, I actually am going to not do that. I'm going to do this. Do this once. If I need more prestige, I'll enact a privilege with the merchants if I need to. Good. We're all good there. We're gonna move our forces back to Constantinople. This should have been mothballed the whole time. That's actually on me. That was a misplay, but not a major one. Then I'm gonna make 2 galleys right here. They'll be done. I wish they were done sooner, but they're gonna get done, so that's fine. They're holding out on me. They don't want an alliance yet. Also, now that another reason why we vassalized them is that now we get to use strong duchies. Once we make our alliances, we're actually going to get rid of the Pope as an ally, just because we don't need it. It's helpful like defensively, but they won't help us against the Ottomans in a defensive war, and we're actually going to be declaring war on the Ottomans. We're not going to wait. I've won my first war with the Ottomans by like 51 before, and then you're in a great place. So yeah, absolutely go on the offensive. I would even say like not even wait for Hungary to like build favors with them, promise land and break it if need be. Yeah, we can wait on that. We don't need to rush. Let's see. Want a Georgian alliance? Serbia is just not an option now. Yeah, no, absolutely not. We need to move over these troops. And now we can get that alliance with Hungary. And I don't mind royal marrying them because they're going to be our buddies for a bit longer. We're going to be going over this again. I'm going to have to accept the prestige loss. I don't want to fight rebels right now. We don't need the Pope anymore. We are going to go one over once more to get Georgia. I feel like that'll be worth it. They're not in war with anyone. If they're chilling, I'm going to let them chill. Because I'm not necessarily in a rush. If I can actually... It would be better to call them into favors than to promise land and lie. So now I'm going to start currying those favors. Once we've got our little, like, Grand Alliance here, we're safe. This event is actually a trap, right? Because it's really important that we immediately get tier 4. Because like I said before, because of their strong military leader, they're gonna get tier 4 before anyone else. So you have to match that, then like bulk up the your allied forces with a bunch of tier 4 mercenaries, which they will be, right? Because you have the Free Company, which will take your tech tree, and then the Palace Guard, which will take your tech tree. You have to be careful potentially about taking like some Balkan mercenaries because they'll have likely a tech of 3. So where you get your mercenaries from are relevant. Sometimes I would take like a tier 3 mercenary group if they have siege, but if Palace Guard keeps that high siege leader, it won't even be a problem. You won't even have to worry about it. But because we're gonna have all these free generals from mercenary groups, we don't take this. It's a trap. It'll put you behind on military points, and it could be a problem. So you just take this, 1 free point, whatever. They're focused on Dakuldir and Kandar for now. We're not striking this yet. I'm not worried about it yet. Ideally they do get occupied with something, but we'll see about that. All right, now we can get that alliance with Georgia. And now we've effectively got like all the alliances we need. We just want to make sure we have enough favors. Theoretically, we could call them, call in allies now, but technically these guys wouldn't even bite because of the truce. So we're gonna probably be waiting at least till 49. That means we have times to build up those favors. I'm also gonna start with Georgia. They're far away. I'm not going to be expanding them into them anytime soon, so I will actually... I'll take that royal marriage for now. I won't be taking a royal marriage with... maybe with Albania, but definitely not with Wallachia. I might try to vassalize, like if you decided to like continue this. If I decided to continue this outside of the guide, I would then go ahead and diplo-vassalize them. They're very diplo-vassalized. diplo-vassalizable. Looks like not right now, but that's because we're tiny. We're gonna like explode in development in just a little bit. We're doing tier 4 right now. Speed 5 right now, because right now we're waiting for those favors. We're basically ready. What I don't want to be doing though is wasting money if I can help it. My mercenaries will still be full morale, but my actual like manpower, proper army, they won't be, but that's fine. Before I declare the war, I'll make sure they're in ship shape. The less land the Ottomans get, the better. They missed out on Kandahar, interestingly. They did full annex Dukaldir, but as you can see, they'll be full autonomy for a bit, so they won't really benefit them for a bit. So that's fine. Yeah, move our whole navy into Constantinople. I could get an admiral from the merchants, but I'm just gonna buy one. Not a very good one, but I'd rather just not. Because in some test runs, I've given too much influence to the estates, and it kind of becomes a problem later on. Yeah, see, once you start currying favors, it goes up quickly. I'm hoping that the Ottomans are declaring someone, but we will see. We can probably do it without it, just because we have our little, like I said, meat shield over here. But this is good news. That's less development for the Ottomans. I would rather not wait a long time, but we'll see. Take this right here just because we like money. It's gonna tick off the merchants, but I don't care. Alright, we're done with that. I'm getting some crappy events, huh? Curry favors with Wallachia. That's fine. We didn't really need them as a rival right now. Just a benefit. Genoa or Venice? I know Genoa can sometimes get an alliance with like Austria, and like later on, probably past the scope of this specific video, this guide, you'd probably be looking for an alliance with Austria. So I would be careful rivaling people that they could actually ally. I also don't want to tick off Venice though, because they could actually be a threat. So I will rival Genoa, even though it's risky. Both are risky, but one's a much less risky than the other. So hopefully they don't get any good allies. That could be a good later expansion target. I've seen strategies where they people say attack them before the Ottomans. I disagree. There's too much RNG with that. Then we want to, ideally they give us the money, right? I clicked that pretty quickly, but just a matter of trying to get them to pay tribute. They didn't. I personally wouldn't do this because it would actually bring troops to the European part. Sorry about that. So yeah, we're just gonna say perhaps it's a mistake. They will actually give us a little boon later. we're getting close to the point where I would like to declare one of the Ottomans, so I'm actually going to build a spy network in them. I'm not gonna do this yet because, as you can see, they'll revolt, and that's not worth it right now. Especially because we'd have to move our navy around. Right now, we're gonna put everything into Constantinople. We got that tier 4. That's exactly what we're looking for. You can see though, they still beat us to it, but that's fine. But like everyone else is not gonna have it. So by using our hiring several mercenaries, we're gonna beef up our alliance by doing that, which is really good. Passing on that for sure. I'm attacking them after this. That's unfortunate. That's a bad trait to get early on. Depot reputation is really important. That's not ideal. Luckily, we've already gotten all of our allies for the first war, but that might be a pain later on for us getting, for example, Austria. Or we've got the favors we need. Ideally, we actually wait till the Ottomans are like predisposed, attacking someone. I don't think they're going to be getting in a war with anyone but our allies, essentially. They're not going to fight the Mamluks yet, I don't think. And unfortunately, they're not going to fight Serbia because they've guaranteed them, so I do think we go for that. We're going to send Albania a little bit of money because we want Skanderberg. But before we do that, we're going to hire a palace guard. They still have that really good general. That's really good. Put everyone in Constantinople. Allow people to attach. We're going to just keep doing all these things to give us the edge. Want to make sure army morale is fully up. I want as many troops to move into Antonolia as possible. That event sucks, but that's fine. We're gonna staff up. As you see now, we're kind of against the we're working against time right now. I don't believe they're really gonna attack anyone, so we're just gonna go for it. Ideally, they focus on Trebizond and Georgia. I'm going to set my war goal for Gallipoli. And as you can see, they're not at war with anyone, so this will actually be a good example of this strategy working. I'm actually going to move off for now. Right, we want to give our allies a second to charge in. Right now, we're good to go. Do that barrage there. I'm a little nervous there, but we should be okay. So at this point, right, they've got 9k screwing around in Athens, which is really good for us. They've got, and let's see, this is exactly why I talk so much about making an alliance with these nations in the Caucasus, because they're just gonna waste their time over there. Perfect bait for the Ottoman AI. These loans suck, but they're okay, because guess what? The Ottomans are going to be paying down our loans. They're going to be paying down our debt. So, again, we're immediately getting Gallipoli. This is, you can kind of see how it's all coming together right now. I had some good RNG, some bad RNG, but this is what we wanted. Unfortunately, one of the strategies I really like to use, we can't do. Because Wallachia took Celestri. I could give it to them just for the sake of the strategy working. Essentially, we take all of the naval forces away. So when we summon some Bulgarian rebels, they take over all this land, and it's like free land essentially. I'm Since I plan to attack Wallachia anyways, I might actually give them like one piece of land just to block the Ottomans. Genoa's even paying us money, right? Because the Ottomans don't have many friends, so you can get some good events like that. Got a little unlucky there, but like you can kind of see we're getting there. And even better, the Ottoman Navy's hiding. They don't want the smoke. They can't take the smoke. Our allies are coming in, and we clap them. From this point on, it's just a matter of taking over these provinces. I'm gonna sell the Antonols. We don't need them anymore. They're costing us too much money. I'm also gonna sell probably the Palace Garden a bit, but I don't want to yet. Well, there's still 9k over here. And the AI is probably about to stack wipe these guys. Or get stacked wipe. That's okay. It's annoying, but that's okay. And now they got that. I'm getting rid of the Palace Guard now. We've essentially won the war. We're just now trying to beat the Ottomans into a favorable peace deal for us. It's okay to take some debt, take some loans, because at the end of this, the Ottomans are going to be our piggy bank. Wallachia across the strait. Yeah, see, look, see, this is the perfect example. They're wasting all their time over there. It's perfect. So I'm actually going to reinforce them across the strait and move my navy right here. This is like literally the perfect example. So we're going to be able to get a good peace deal out of them just because they're wasting so much on Georgia. Worst case scenario, they'll annul some treaties. Who cares, right? These guys were really just bait. Past this first war, your allies are really going to change. Like I said, you're going to be looking for Austria. Austria's great, especially against Venice. I like to nip Venice in the bud if you can, because otherwise they can actually be, painfully shipping like 40k troops into you if you let them take off. And I would just rather not deal with that. But we're getting ahead of ourselves. We got to win this first war, which we are winning. They're getting a lot of war score from the Caucasus, but that's fine. They're gonna end up piecing out, kind of throwing your allies out under the bus, but like that's what they're there for. Yeah, who cares, right? In fact, they're still an ally. We're probably gonna break the alliance, maybe. Not yet, because I have a royal marriage with them, so they would take a spot up anyways. Like they're no longer relevant to me. Look, see, they ended it up, but it's like over essentially. Oh, they got some zest in them still. Yeah, we've got a lot of troops hung up here though. There we go. Let's wait 1 second. That's unfortunate. We've already won. I'm just trying to push the Ottomans as far as I can for like the best peace deal possible. This is perfect. Since Wallachia changed their mind on some of this land, or somehow I took it, I can actually. We won't get these two provinces, but that's fine. But we can take Turnovo and probably Ohri, and that'll give us a land border with Serbia, and then land border with Wallachia. So that's expansion plus Bulgarian separatists that we can then use to basically kick out. They'll declare independence, and then the second they're free, you declare war on them. It's like basically extra land from the Ottomans. I mean, if you play this right, you can essentially pick out, like, it's not gonna happen this time, but like I've had peace treaties with the Ottomans where essentially I take all the land aside from Bulgarian land, so that means in one war I've essentially kicked the Turks out of Europe in the first war. We didn't quite get that, but that's fine. Where's my troops? Hiding in Wallachia. I think I'm gonna make a peace treaty now. I'm not really death warning the Ottomans. We're looking for a good peace treaty, and they're gonna give it to us. All right, so we're probably looking for something like this. Follow up with war reparations. They're paying back all of our debt. We're only getting a third of the money, but that alone should be enough to pay back our debt. We can probably take some more land, frankly, so we're actually going to do that. I don't want to give Albania this. I plan very much on diplo-vassalizing them later, and that'll just be a hindrance to that. Can't take that land. I'll take a scope. We maximize this peace treaty, right? We're just gonna send this out. Bam. So we have probably, you know, in development and actual space, triple in size probably, right? Because before we would have been, what, like 20, probably like 30 development, right? Now we're 120 almost. We can even immediately state that. We can't state Macedonia because we took these Serbian provinces, Bulgarian with Serbian cores. That's fine. We've reversed the downfall. This is actually a good mission to proc because it gives us Diplo rep. Obviously, as you know, we lost some earlier, but like we're essentially in like a perfect spot, right? 1454. We're 10 years into the game. We've tripled our development, and we have like very obvious ways to expand right now. They've guaranteed them. So the Ottomans will try to be annoying and hinder you. I've even gotten warned by them before. But I mean, worst case scenario, you want to look for expansion between this and the next war, no matter what, because that's what, a decade, 15-year peace treaty. So even if it took like no sea being Tunis, I would still do that just to keep expanding in between the Ottoman wars. But even without that, we're in a great starting point. You know, you can do all those things. You know, start coring the land. We want to be able to get these Bulgarian separatists, which they're already gonna revolt. That's actually a good thing for us. So now those 14k will ideally cross over here. They could cross over here and get their asses kicked, which is not ideal. I would have preferred to take these instead of Turnvo, but Wallachia wanted to be greedy. But essentially, like, with one more war, we've kicked the Turks out of Europe because we're going to get most of Bulgaria, ideally. And then in the next war, we'll take Adrian and Avalonia, and then start expanding into Anatolia. The Turks' expansion has been blocked by, well, I'd say their alliance, but they broke that alliance. It's actually unfortunate because that means I've had games where like the Turks kind of run away and kind of are too stubborn to die. So that could be something that happens here. But from this point, right, we're debt free. The Ottomans are paying us some money. We've tripled our development, and you're in a great spot for future expansions. Just 10 years into the game. So honestly, I would continue this just for fun, and I might in a future video. But I just wanted to show like my take on this whole starting as Byzantium and the current patch. Like I think it's like 1.37.5 or something. Because when I was looking up stuff, I heard a lot of stuff about like Naples and all that, and there's way too much RNG. Also, like an alliance with the Pope which the Pope isn't helpful. Like I allied him temporarily, just for the sake of getting that first mission done, and after that I was done with him. While you do have that this unit of the church's bonus, your mercenary is going to be cheaper, but you're going to be looking to get rid of that. You're even going to be looking to get rid of, especially this first military bonus, or privilege, quote unquote. It's a malice. In fact, here, just to kind of cap off the video, show you how easy it is to get rid of that, right? And we actually have to develop these provinces in the future anyways, for future mission. So we're kind of killing two birds with one stone right here, which is ideal. I don't know, we can spend a little bit of military points. It's not perfect, but you know, we're at Tech 4. We're gonna get mercenary sooner. This advisor is actually a reference to one of my favorite EU4 mods. I might do a video about that in a little bit, just because it's about the third Odyssey. It's a reference to them, so it's kind of nice how like the devs actually kind of winked and referenced, you know, some of these mods, even in the very actual mission tree. Oh, look, see, we already got Renaissance. We just need 2 more development. I'm honestly not even gonna develop Constantinople, because we're gonna be, if you continued this, right, you're gonna be doing a lot of this. Not in lands you've already got cored, but like as you expand, you want to be concentrating this development, because not only will it make your capital stronger, it'll make those lands cheaper to core. Yes, you'll get less taxes and production, but they're gonna be high autonomy land that's gonna, you're gonna use short-term gain to fuel long-term expansion, right? So that's worth it. We got that, right? That's completed. Now we can actually, by hiring a decent guy like that, we're almost to the point of repairing the army. We just need like 1 more. There, look, see? Now this terrible privilege, quote unquote, is gone. Now we have all that back. It's gonna take off the nobles for a bit, but they'll get over it. And then you're in a perfect situation to continue this campaign and have you know, future conquests. So ultimately, this video, this guy, you know, I completed it, so this is done for now. If you wanted to see me actually continue this, see what your kind of long-term gameplay would look like, go ahead and give me a comment, and I'll actually do that. Otherwise, let me know what other content you'd like to see in the future, because I'm going to start making a lot of these videos, potentially either guides on this or other games. So just go ahead and let me know below. Thanks for watching, guys. I really appreciate it. And that's it. See you next time.